Hi everyone, my name is Rashi Jain and I am a software engineer at Think Future Technologies Private Limited. And I'm basically from India and I have 2 years of experience in software development. I started my career 2 years back and I hope everybody is fine in this difficult times for all the world. And for today, I will be speaking on the topic how to create a single page application. Before I get started, I just have a small disclaimer for all that I will be sharing my screen. So I will not be able to see the chat. So if anybody has any question, please do let me know after completing my session so that I'll be able to answer those questions or any interaction which anybody wants. We can do it after my session, right? So for today, I will be speaking on how to create a single page application on React. So I think let's get started to it. So for today, for today's speech or session, I will be talking about how to build a single page application in React. Again, I'm saying that I will not be able to see the chat section during my presentation. So please bear me for that. And so yeah. So my topic will be how to build a single page application in React, where SPA stands for single page application. We'll be discussing about React, SPA, how we can create it. So for today, the topic of discussion will be what is a single page application, multi-page application versus single page application architecture. I'll be speaking about what is React, how does it work, what is DOM, virtual DOM, and I'll talk about what is JSX with examples, easy steps which we can take to create a single page application using React. And I'll be I'll be talking about components, how we can create components in React, what are the debugging tools which we can use React for debugging the application which we are creating, and big companies which are using React, the top big companies in the industry which are using React to create their product. Why should we go for React for creating a web application? And how well the library is supported online. So there is too much to talk about. Let's get started. So my first question is, what is SPA? And SPA stands for single page application. A single page application is an app that works inside a browser and does not require page to reload. So basically, React is completely a library which is used to create single page applications. So what does it mean? It means that there will be only one HTML page for the complete application, but the data which get loaded using the JavaScript will be different. So JavaScript, so React is basically used to create the single page applications. And pros of the single page application, as it already suggests, that single page application is very fast. Why is it so? Because in single page application, we will load our resources like HTML, CSS, scripts only once throughout the life cycle of an application. So it is very easy to load the HTML only once. And after that, we will not ask the server to get another HTML if we change the content of our application. Single page application is very much good to cache, and we can use local storage effectively. Single page application can be used very much effectively to use local storage. And it is very easy to debug with Chrome. Chrome browser provides us various debugging tools, which I'm going to talk about, which is very easy to, which makes SPA very easy to debug. Now let's talk about the multi-page application, which is the basic application which we grown up knowing that there will be multi-page application and the single page application, which with the help of React we can create. So just give me a second. So architecture of multi-page application is, everybody knows that there will be a client side of an application and there will be a server side of the application. So whenever we hit any domain or whenever we hit any URL, we'll ask server to serve us some HTML file And whenever we make change to that HTML file, whenever we want to make, suppose we want to submit a form, and after submitting a form, we want to show something else to the user. In multi-page application, what will happen is, when we submit the form, when we make a query to the server, a post query, then a new HTML page will get returned to the client side with all its resources like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all its other resources will get again loaded to the client side, which is a very heavy process. In comparison to single page application, what is going to happen is, when we ask the server that we want this application, so initially there will be only one HTML page which server will serve to the client, and after that, when we make any other further changes, or when we interact with the server for let's suppose we are making a form submission and we want something back in return from the server, so that we can change our look and view of the client side on submission of that form, then in that case, instead of returning a complete new HTML page from the server will only return some JSON data. So basically, JSON is a kind of object which will be get returned from the server, and on the basis of that data, we can manipulate our front-end React application. But the HTML page which was initially served will remain the same. There will be no new HTML page which get reloaded, which make the application very much fast. So this is the difference between the multi-page application and the single page application. Now the question comes, what is React.js? So React.js is a declarative, efficient, and flexible JavaScript library for building user interfaces in a predictable and efficient way. React.js is a declarative, efficient, flexible library. It is a library which is maintained by Facebook, and it is an open source library which comes into the open source world in the year 2013. So basically, this library is a component-based front-end library which is only responsible for the UI, how our application is going to look. This we can achieve this with the help of React.js. So what is a React application made up of? A React, if we don't have many HTML pages, then how we are changing the view? So the simple answer to this question is, a React application is made up of multiple components. So we can say that we build a home with the help of walls. So we create an application with the help of components. Components are the walls of our React application, which is responsible and small reusable piece of HTML. So basically what happened when the JSON data coming from the server changes, the reusable component of HTML, which we call components, they get changed instead of changing the complete HTML. And to create a complex application, we can nest the components with each other to build a single building block. To build a single house, we can manipulate the walls, and we can create more and more walls to make a very complex house. We can think of it in that way. So why are people so much into React? Why people are so much eager to learn React? Why there is a so much big community of React? All these questions will be answered by knowing the pros of the React. So React has a fairly low learning curve. Why React is so popular? The first and foremost answer of this, because React is very much easy to learn. So you just need to have some basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you are good to go. Second point is JSX. I know JSX is quite a bit different term for the newbies, but I'll come back to that in some time. So we can use JSX in React. Actually, JSX is something JavaScript with XML, which I'll be talking about in some time. React uses one directional data flow. So basically what happens is, React only works with one data flow. It only passes the data from parent to child, and child element cannot affect the parent's data. And the fourth point is very much important, and it is the basic building block of React technology. which is virtual DOM. React uses virtual DOM, which greatly increase the speed of your app. React is very fast in comparison to other technologies. And why is that so? Because React uses a virtual DOM. I know some of the terms on this slide is not very much familiar to the newbies, but I will explain these in detail after some time. Next is React is an excellent cross-platform supporter. With the help of React.js, you can easily create an application, a single-page application, which can work on browsers, Safari, Chrome, Mozilla, Edge. You can easily create an application and it will provide you support to all the browsers because it has overridden the properties of Chrome, like the events of the browsers have been overwritten by React. And React.js is easy to adopt. It is very easy to adopt, and it is basically UI focused design. React.js is basically designed to create the UI of the application. And the foremost and the biggest advantage of using React is that with learning of React, you get the basic knowledge of React Native also. I think you must have heard of this technology also, React Native, which is a framework to create mobile applications for both Android and iOS. So if you know React, you will be good to go to learn React Native in a very faster pace compared to a newbie. So my first question is, how does React works? So basically, we have already seen the word virtual DOM, and in this slide, I'll be explaining it to you. So basically, now I just want to tell you how the React works. So basically, we have talked about virtual DOM. We have seen the word virtual DOM. Let's talk about it. So what happens is, whenever an application runs in the DOM or in the browser will maintain a DOM. DOM is basically a data object model. So suppose if you are creating a HTML page with a body tag, and there will be two tags in it, the H1 tag and the paragraph tag. So the body tag will be the parent tag, and H1 and P tag will be the child tags of the tree-like structure in a DOM, which is maintained for every HTML page which we open in the browser. So basically, how the React is working, React basically created its own copy of the DOM. And there what happens is, the React, when there will be a change in any of the component, what happens is React will compare those changes from the previous created virtual DOM and the new created virtual DOM, and only those changes, the differences between these two virtual DOMs, will only get reflected into our actual DOM of the browser, and the component will get re-rendered and we can see the changes in our application. So basically, React has a very efficient diffing algorithm, and this process is called reconciliation. This process of comparing virtual DOM, old virtual DOM with the new virtual DOM, which is React maintaining, is re-rendered to the DOM of our application, which makes the React functionality very much easy. I hope everybody is seeing my slides now. Oh, yeah. So the only difference between the virtual DOM of previous maintained copy and the new copy created because we have changed our component will get reflected to our actual DOM. Instead of making changes to the actual DOM again and again, which is very heavy, React only makes the changes in the virtual DOM, and only the changes which is required only reflected to the actual DOM. So this is how React works. Now I have also used a word JSX. So what JSX is all about? JSX stands for JavaScript XML, which is a statistically typed object-oriented programming language. So what JSX is a programming language which we can use in React applications to make it much more easier to integrate the HTML templates which we want to create, which will be going to visible to the user, and the logic behind those screens, the logic of clicking a button, the logic of showing some dynamic details, the logic of showing some dynamic content over the screen. We can create it by using JSX. The syntax, for example, I have also written an example over here. So suppose if we are creating an application and we are using this element and making a constant element and passing this h1 hello world. So this syntax is neither a complete HTML nor a string. Actually, this is a JSX. So instead of creating separate file for HTMLs and for the logics in JS, we can use JSX to make the components in the React. We just need to add the dynamic data into these curly braces inside the HTML tag, and we are good to go. Let me just show some example of JSX. So yeah, let me just tell you some example of JSX. Here is the name women, constant women tech network, and we have created an element h1 with an attribute class name. Similar like HTML, we also have attributes to our components called class name, and here we are passing our this variable to our h1 tag. So what happens is this is the complete JSX index. Now what happens is React is having a compiler called Babel, which is used to transpile the content. So this line is ultimately converted into this line. So basically what is happening is we are ultimately converting it into a function. React.create element has an inbuilt function of React which will use to create the elements. And here it goes the element which we want to create, here it goes the string which we want to show, and here it goes the variable or prop we want to pass to this element. And finally, this element is converted into an object in this way. So finally, this element is converted into a simple object where type will be the h1 because we are creating an h1 tag, and the props for this h1 tag will be the class name, and anything returned in this tag will be the children. So this complete thing is the children. This object is called the React element. So we have talked about the React, we have talked about the components. So what a React element is, I've already mentioned an example. So suppose we want to build up a house. To build a house, we need to create the walls, and to create the walls, we need bricks. So React element act as a brick. By adding more and more elements in, we can create a component, and by adding more and more components in an application, we can create a whole React application. So basically, this complete object is one node in the DOM, which I have discussed earlier. So basically, this complete object is one node, final node in the DOM, which is maintained by the browser. Now we have some basic knowledge of React, that how we can create, what is the use of React, what is React, what is SPA and everything. Let's talk about how we can create a simple React application. So there are various methods to create the simple application in React. If we want to create the React app, or we want to add the React into an existing application, there are various tool chains which we can use. So first is the thing where we can add the React component into the existing app. If we want to add the React into an existing app, we can just add these script tags into the head of our HTML page, and we are good to go. Now, to create an application from scratch, we have various tool chains. Like if we want to create a single page application, and if you are very much new to learn React application, we can use Create React App, which I'll be talking about in few moments. And if you want to build a server rendered website with Node.js, if you want your website to run from a server, then you can use Next.js, and there are many more tool chains which you can use to create a React application. You can find all those tool chains into the React documentation itself. It is very pretty much clearly visible. So my concern today will be Create React app. I will be using to make an application in React will be the Create React app. So let's talk about Create React app. Create React app is an official supported way for creating single page applications. Create React app is a module, is an NPM node module which is used to create single page application React. Actually, what happens is when we want to create a boilerplate for the React application, what we can use the npm create React app, and it will provide us a complete folder structure without worry of any configuration of Webpack, Babel. We can just run a command into the terminal and we are good to go. We can use templates to create. That command is npx create React app, the name of your application -- template TypeScript. And this part of the command is optional. If you want to add any template, then it is okay. Otherwise, it will create the application by only running this command with the name of your application. And we can choose, there are various kind of templates which is provided by the Create React app. We can choose any of them. You can easily find the templates on this link of Create React app. Let me just share this link with you all. There, the documentation is very much easy to read. So you can go through the documentation of it, and you can easily check how Create React app is working, and is there any installation. One more thing, if you are not satisfied with the configuration which Create React app has given you, you can also eject your application. Eject means that you can want to configure your all application by yourself instead of Create React app. Anytime if you want to eject. And the main purpose of ejection of any application is that the current implementation, how Create React app has implemented the things, is not fulfilling all your requirements. Then you want to eject your application and you want to configure those things by yourself, then you can easily do it. We have already, let me just show you the folder structure which Create React app has given me after running this command. So I have already run this command over my terminal, and let me just show you what folder structure it has given me. So here, I hope everybody can see my screen. Yeah. So this is the folder structure. I have created a project with women_tech_network. And this is the folder structure which we finally get. So there will be a package.json file, there will be a public folder, there will be node modules, there will be a readme file, there will be a gitignore file, and the main folder on which we are going to work is this src folder. So basically, this is the structure. Let me just give a brief description about all these things. So basically, this is the package.json where all the third-party libraries which you want to use in your application, like Axios, Material UI, Bootstrap, or any other npm module which you want to use, you can install in your project by running the command npm install, the name of the package which you want to use, --save. So this is the command and that library or package will get added to your dependencies. And whenever you want to run the application, you need to run npm install and you are good to go. For this Create React app has also given us these 4 scripts which we can run if we want to start our application. If we want to start application, then we can use React script start. If we want to build our application and build a release build, then we can use npm run build. If we want to run the test cases in React, then we can use npm run test. And if we want to eject, as I've already mentioned, if you want to eject your application, you need to just command npm run eject and you are good to go. This is the list of browsers which is supported by your application. You can manipulate it, you can change it whatever way you want to use it. So, and here is the public folder, and in that public folder, there is an index.html file. There is an index.html file. This is the file this is the only HTML page which is going to run or use in our complete application. So let me just show you a small mechanism how it is happening. When you go into the src folder, there will be an index.js file, and there will be a function react dom.render. Now what happened is we have created a component named app. Let me just show you that. So this is the component. This is the component which I have created, and this here we have created a normal HTML structure with HTML tags like div, heading, image, anchor tag, etc. We have created a component. As you can see, this is nothing. This is basically a function component which is returning a DOM element instead of anything else. So it is basically returning a node of the DOM. So what happens is, in index.js file, we are saying, React is saying that there is a function. What will this function do? This function will find the element in the index.html file which is having the ID root. And when you check the index.html, there is a div with the ID root. So what is going to happen? Any component which you are making, ultimately all the components will get appended in this div. And finally, you will get all your application appended will be the child of this div. This div will be the parent of all the elements in a React application. And all the content of this div is get pasted in this div like this. Not like this, but I'm just giving you an example that all the content is pasted in this div, and finally only this HTML file is served from the server only once. So this is how React works, and this is how Create React Apps give you this complete folder structure. In node modules, you can see all those modules which you have installed, and there are some pre-installed modules which you can check and see. There are many more files like CSS. If you want to make some changes in the CSS, you can simply use it. Then there will be a test file where you can run your test cases in. These are the files, folder structure. And coming back to the presentation, I've seen one person asked me that do you have access for the slides? I will, please drop the email. I will share you the slides over the mail. I don't think there is a provision to send the files over Hopin. So please drop your mail. I will send it through you directly. So now let's talk about components a bit. As I've already told you about components. So components are the UI which is used to create reusable piece of components, and components can be of two types: functional component and class components. So everybody is familiar with the functions of JavaScript and the classes of JavaScript. So these are the two ways which we can create the function components. I think I'm running out of time. Let me just quickly give you a brief about how the React component is created and how the functional component is created. So on the left hand side, you can see there is a class. So first and foremost thing, in every file of your component, import React line should be there, because it is used by JSX to convert the JSX into the React.create elements. So this import is mandatory in all the files of your components. So basically here what we have done, that we have created a class, we have created a function, and there is a function called rendered. Render is the function which return the complete node of our application, which is going to visible on the screen. So render is the most important function of a class component, and from render we can only return the component which we want to show on the screen. On the other hand side, there is a functional component where we can pass the props which we want to pass to this component in the arguments, and there is no render function in any functional component. Functional component is basically a function which is returning a DOM node. So basically from this function we are returning this div with an anchor tag, and here this is an export. Now two things happens in a React component. There is something called state and there is something called props. These two are very important things which everybody should know. That state is something that a component has its own. If you want to change the data in its yourself, that suppose we are having a form, and a form is having a field of name. So name will be the state of its own component. And if you want to pass any data to your children, then you can pass it as a prop. I hope everybody is getting that. State can be defined in the component itself. You can define your state in itself of your component, and props are passed from parent component to the child component. Both are accessible, but state are mutable. We can change the state, but props cannot be changed. As I've already told you that React is a single way technology. It works on one-way binding, that only parent can change its own properties, but child cannot change the properties of parent. If a property called name is present in state and name is passed to the children as well, so children cannot change the name property, only the parent can change the name property. And we are here various functions in React also, which I think is not relevant to tell. Let me just come back quickly to the debugging tools. So it is very easy to debug a React application. There are various tools which we can use to debug a React application. Let me just show you one. Let me just open my... And always remember that any React application will always work when you run the command npm start. Let me just show you. I am in the folder of counter apps. I've created this app, and when you run this command npm start, what will happen? It will start your React application in this localhost 3000. You can easily access your application from this. It is opening the development server. So let me just show you the terminal. We can open the terminal like this way. We can right click on the browser and we can inspect it, or we can press Command Shift I or Control Shift I depending upon the OS which you are using. So there are various elements in the Chrome developer tools, like the elements. Here you can see all the elements, all the nodes of your application. Like if you want to see about, if you want to check any of the DOM, like div, this, there is a button over here, and it got reflected over here also, like button primary M2. And here you can see all the styles which is implemented to a particular element. In console, if you want to type anything and you want to check anything, you can write like this in your application anywhere, and you can check it. So this will be get consoled. In your application, you can write console.log anywhere and it will get printed out. Next is network. If you are making any API call to the server to get some data, then all the calls will be logged here. As I'm not making any API call, my demo application doesn't have any API call. So you cannot see any API call over here. But if you want to see any kind of XHR, JS, CS, any kind of API calls which is going to the server, you can easily check it over here. You can also check the performance of the application over here. You can check if you want to check what local storage, what is the data in the local storage, what are the cookies of my application, what is the cache of my application. You can go to the application tab and easily check it. And there is also an extension called React DevTool extension, React Developer extension, which you can install to avail these two, component and profiler. These two options are not built in Chrome browser. If you want to avail these options, you can add the Chrome extension React Developer tool to check the components. So what will happen? It will basically show you the components. The first component of my application is app. Then there is a nav bar. Then there is a counter, and in the counter we have component counters, and then we have 4 counter component. So it will show you the complete hierarchy, and whatever you choose, it will show the corresponding data related to it in the right side of that panel. So this is about the debugging tools. And talking about the React.js community, React.js is majorly and is widely supported by a community of developers. It has around 3.8 million users around the globe. So you can imagine that the contribution in the community is how big. The React repository has 15K stars on Stack Overflow. There are 1,800 questions. And according to 2020 survey, it is the second most popular framework for web app development. You can see these graphs to check the popularity. The 7 million, more than 7 million people are using React. And top companies which are using React is Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, Netflix. Everybody is using React to make it component more faster, more efficient. So we can imagine that this makes us all think, why are we not using React, and why should we use React to make our application? I hope this complete presentation will be beneficial for you. And this much from my side. You can, I will drop the links of my social media accounts, and you can follow me from there. Let me just show my LinkedIn. Thank you everyone for joining. It was great having you all here, and I hope you liked it. And if anybody wants to connect to me and have any kind of queries related to it, related to React, and anybody wants to know anything about React, anybody has any idea to create an application, please do let me know, and we'll work on it together. Thank you everyone for joining again, and hope everyone is safe and sound at their homes in this difficult time. Thank you.